if you're saying that LeBron James, who won 60 and 66 games, would have been washed by Kobe Bryant, why the hell do you have Kobe Bryant 11 all time? That's all I want to know.
Very simple. When we talk about my top 10 players, I could defend every last one of them. So you talk about LeBron James. LeBron James did more with less than what Kobe Bryant did. If you're talking about championships, and you're talking about getting deep into the playoffs. You're talking about dragging teams to the playoffs, right? So we talking about a guy in LeBron James. He never lost in the first round, Tom. Never lost in the first round, Ticket. Not one time. And he never lost in the first round with inferior teams. Not one time did he lose in the first round.
Yes, he did.
2021.
Right, up until 2021. He had never lost in the first round. Not one time did he lose in the first round. So we're talking 20 years.
LeBron fans with the Lakers are going to be like Jordan fans with the Wizards. Yes, sorry, go on.
Right. So when you talk about LeBron James, he did more than Kobe Bryant did, not just individually, but not just from his team, but also as a player individually.
But you said, hold on, you said he did more with less, but he played with way more talent than Kobe did overall. If you think about it, Kobe Bryant had Shaq, and the rest of them dudes was role players pretty much.
4 times.
I mean, outside of that, he played with. Hold on 1 second, Doug. He played with Gasol. He played with Gasol, and everybody else was role players. Right. LeBron James have had teams where he had multiple all-time greats on the same team.
LeBron James never played with the best player in the game. LeBron James never played with the best game. LeBron James never played with the best player in the game. Never. Not 1 year did he play with the best player in the game. Kobe Bryant. You could have made an argument when he went over there and played with D Wade. D Wade was playing at one of the best. D Wade was never the best player in the game. Shaquille O'Neal was the best player in the game.
Not at that time.
Shaq wasn't the best player in the game when with Kobe Bryant. Are you sure?
I'm saying at that time he went over there.
So them 4 trips to the finals in 5 years.
Hold on, what year are you talking about? The year they won the championship?
Those 4 trips in 5 years. Are you telling me that Shaq wasn't the best player in the game? And at any point, was he the best player in the game?
No. At some points,
At some points, hold on. Ticket is you trying to figure out what you're talking in circles and it's not working.
Hold on, bro. At some points, I could tell you, I thought Kobe Bryant was better than Shaq on them teams. Shaq, bro, listen. Shaq, like Elder cooked you, Shaq will get to the finals and play against a nobody on the New Jersey Nets and average 36. But where was that 36 at when he was playing against Tim Duncan?
I'm glad you mentioned. I'm glad you mentioned that too, Ticket. I'm glad you.
I mean, the Spurs had 2 bigs.
Right, and hold on, time out. And the Spurs had some of the best wing defenders in the league that Kobe was frying and Bruce Brown and all them guys. That
is absolutely a fact. So why you leaving out the fact that when they played them, if I'm not mistaken, I just want to make sure that I remember this 100%. So I believe it was the 2001 West Finals. I believe it was the 2001 West Finals. I think Shaq in that series, I think he went 33 and 17 in that series. Right. So and when they played the Sacramento Kings, when they swept them out the playoffs, I think Shaq went 33 and 17 in that series also. So the idea, because the argument was he was carrying Shaq to the finals. I'm having a difficult time with a guy averaging 33 and 17 being carried. I'm having a difficult time with a guy averaging 30 and 13 being carried in a playoff series. I don't think that's going on.
You talking about Kobe? You talking about Kobe carrying Shaq, right?
That's that was the logic, and that was not going on.
Hold on, chill. Let me answer that, please. Let me answer that. So I think I agree with you. Saying that Shaq was being carried by Kobe Bryant is definitely a lie. But Kobe, when you look at besides 2000, I think we could all agree in the year 2000, Kobe was second fiddle to Shaquille O'Neal. I think there's nothing that you could do to defend that. But in 2001 and 2002. The road leading up to the Western Conference, Kobe Bryant outplayed Shaquille O'Neal for more series than Shaq did. It was 4-2. Kobe outscored him more times than not.
So the road, just because you outscore somebody, Dub, does not mean you outscore.
Okay. Hold on. Let me answer that. So on top of him outscoring him for most of those, defensively, I think we could all agree that Kobe, for the majority part, was a better defender in that time, right? A better playmaker.
I'm not going to go that far, but
passer, not playmaker, passer.
I'll go that far. Yes, I will say that. However, what this was about him saying that Kobe carried them to the finals. and I'm having a difficult time with a guy who, again, in 2001, this is what I remember specifically. In 2001, in the West semifinals against Sacramento, Shaq, to start the series against the Sacramento Kings, he goes 40-20 twice.
And what did Kobe have though?
I'm having a difficult time.
42?
Actually, Kobe averaged 35 a game in that series.
Right.
And this is what this is about. This is what this is about. This is about a guy saying that he was carried. That's it. Let's stick to the point.
Well,
Ticket.
okay,
the logic is,
hold on. But you have to look at the matchups too. Shaq was playing against Scott Pollard, bro.
Oh, here we go.
Kobe Bryant was out here playing. Bro, I'm just being. Hold on. If you look at the series, hold on. If you look at the series, when Shaq played against the better centers throughout his career, Shaq did not play as well offensively. He didn't play as well all around. When he played Hakeem, when he played all those best dudes that had to guard him at the center spot, he did not have his greatest series, bro. When Shaq was playing.
Yeah, keep going. I'm sorry, Ticket. I didn't mean to.
When Shaq was playing a bunch of no names, he was dunking on them and kicking them in their face and throwing them through the basket.
Don't just say.
The reason why I'm saying you appreciate Kobe is because who was in the game, and when we saying this because when Shaq was getting in foul trouble and they couldn't play him late in a lot of those games because getting free throws, who was closing the casket? They don't win. They don't win the series against Indiana if Kobe doesn't come back from that injury and close that series because Shaq was in foul trouble and couldn't finish the series. Mm-hmm. They don't close a lot of these series if Kobe Bryant ain't out there to clean up the mess that Shaq couldn't finish because he's in foul trouble or because he's breaking free throws or because they went to the hack of Shaq. But you never give Kobe Bryant the credit for that.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That is not true.
Yes, it is true. I never heard you say. I never heard you say Kobe closed the casket. He closed the deal because Shaq could not be dependent on him because they went to the hack of Shaq. They went to the. Not only did they go to the hack of Shaq, Shaq was in foul trouble a lot of times, and not only that, like I said, you never even went to the first championship. You go back to the Indiana series.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that too, Ticket, because again, I just met you not too long ago, so you didn't hear half of the stuff that I've ever said about Kobe Bryant. So the fact that the best game that I ever saw in person was in 2001 in the Western Conference semifinals in Sacramento when he put 48 and 16 on him. I was in the building for that. The best game that I've ever seen. And by the way, I was around when Jordan had hair, and they used to call him Air Jordan. I saw him play in person. I remember that dude. I saw the Bad Boy Pistons play. I saw these guys play in person. That game that I saw that afternoon in Arco Arena, I was in the building for that. He went 48 and 16. It was the best game I've ever. That's
the game he's talking about. He had 48. No, he's talking about the game. He's talking about the game at 48. The game that Kobe had 48. Chilltown, watch this.
No, watch this. Now, Chilltown, watch this. Now, here's why I attack you. Bro, you see all that stuff you just said about Shaq? Shaq never, Shaq never, how many times did Shaq get it done? And he had Penny Hardaway and those guys before he played with Kobe, Fluent. Was Shaq his most, when he came home to LA, even in their first few years, Shaq was so dominant, he didn't start winning until Kobe Bryant was great. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
And he needed Kobe Bryant.
Every player needed a secondary guy. That's everybody.
No.
He didn't start winning until Pippen was great.
He's Fluent. He's saying Shaq was so dominant. Listen what I'm saying, Fluent. Watch this. Now, I'm going to cook him.
You ain't cooking me, Ticket.
Hakeem legitimately won championships without a second superstar level guy playing at that level on his team.
Correct.
He legitimately won a chip like that.
Correct.
If Shaq was so dominant like this dude say he was, why when Kobe Bryant first went over there, when Shaq was the man, he already went to the finals, why couldn't he get it done until Kobe Bryant was great?
First of all, let's answer the question. So number one, like you just said, Hakeem Olajuwon was able to get it done without a legitimate superstar. Can we not leave out the fact that number one, that was year 11 that he was in when he did that. Number two, that team was together for quite a long time. Number three, when Kobe Bryant got with Shaquille O'Neal, he was in year 4. Not only was he in year 4, it took Kobe Bryant years to develop. So Shaq was in year 8 when he was able to get it done with a 21-year-old kid in Kobe Bryant, who we saw ascending to become a great player. There was not only was there no ascending player, these guys that Hakeem Olajuwon had, these guys were together for a long time, and you cannot leave out how important.
Are you sure? Robert Ory was a rookie. Sam Cassell was a rookie. Don't make me cook you, Chilltown.
Robert
Don't
Horry
make me
was
cook
not
you.
a rookie.
Robert Horry was a rookie.
Robert Horry got drafted in Robert Horry got drafted in 1992.
Do not make me filet mignon your ass.
Again,
Sam
you're wrong. You are
Sam
wrong.
Cassell was a rookie.
Sam Cassell was a rookie. Robert Horry got drafted in 1992. They won the NBA championship in 94. So you're wrong right there. Okay,
well,
so that's not true.
He was a young,
hold on.
He was a young guy. He was a young guy. He was a young guy. He was a young guy.
So Bernie Maxwell was in the league for a long time. Kenny Smith was in the league for 7 years. Mario Elie, these guys.
When Shaq went to LA, Eddie.
Go ahead, Chill. Get your final points off.
Don't mute me when I'm
we
cooking.
Gotta move on.
You ain't cooking nobody.
We gotta move on.
I'm cooking him. Don't mute me when I'm cooking him. That's the balance.
You ain't doing nothing. You gonna go to your.
We moving on.
I'm putting his ass on the grill.
You ain't putting nobody nowhere.
He telling to these people.
I already did. You
period. Like I said. Hold on, Ron, 1 second. Like I said, when we look at Shaquille O'Neal, I just told you Hakeem had a second-year player, Robert Horry, a rookie in Sam Cassell, and he won the chip. Shaquille O'Neal went to LA. I'm gonna say it again. You was talking about how dominant he was. He already had went to the finals. He went to LA. He still had an all-star on that team in Eddie Jones. He still had good players in Nick Van Exel, Ceballos, and all those other guys. Why couldn't Shaq, all the way up until Kobe became great, win a chip?
Once again, the idea that you bring in Hakeem Olajuwon is not the same thing because he won the NBA championship in year 11. Shaq got those guys. He's in year 4 when he gets Eddie Jones. He's in year 4 when he gets Van Exel. He's in year 4. And Hakeem Olajuwon was in year 11.
How many years did he play in Orlando?
He was in year 5 when he got those guys, not year 4. I apologize. He was in year 5, as opposed to Hakeem Olajuwon, who it was double the time by the time he won the NBA championship. So when Shaq wins the NBA championship, Robert Horry had been in the league for quite some time. Rick Fox had been in the league for quite some time, right? All of these guys have been in the league. Derek Fisher had been in the league for quite some time. Kobe had been in the league for quite some time. So they were building that unit around Shaq, and they were growing. And once they got it figured out, they started winning. It wasn't like he went over there and started winning immediately. Just like when Olajuwon was in Houston, they didn't start winning immediately. What are you talking about, Ticket? Stop talking about cooking somebody. Your logic is whack, B.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.